All right, here we are Wednesday evening. David Paul with you in the KHOU Weather Center. It's 9 o'clock, tropical update time. I don't think we're going to have Dolly out there anytime soon. Maybe we will. Take a look. But the chance for it to develop that spot off the African coast has dropped today. It's not looking super healthy. It's amazing, and we're going to look at the long-range models as well. And remember, we're August 26th. We're into the real meat of hurricane season. Usually we're seeing these waves have a much better chance of developing out there, and right now we're just not. So it may end up being a very quiet season. We will see. We still have we have more than half of the season to go. So no rush, but things are quiet right now. We've had Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, three piddly, tiny little tropical systems. The remnants of, or what was left of the low-level circulation of Arthur and Bertha both crossed over Harris County. That's amazing. Cristobal was out in the open Atlantic. They were all very tiny storms. Dolly is the next name on the list. How apropos it would have been to have Dolly develop yesterday or today, but the tropics don't look like it's going to happen. This is the only spot we're watching out here right now. It is a 60% chance for development. The wave is where the X is. And just looking elsewhere, there's nothing. Cloud debris from storms are off the East Coast. This is what was left of a little wave heading north into the North Atlantic. Nothing in the Caribbean or the Gulf. So let's go down here and check out what's going on. So there actually is a little slug. Look at this. That's a little tight slug of convection. Thunderstorms going up and down. But pressures up. They've dropped a little bit. So earlier this afternoon, pressure in this thing was at 1,010 millibars. Now it's dropped down to 1,007. That's an estimate. They're not flying it. That's an estimated pressure just by looking at satellite interpretation. We've been doing that for a long, long time. Very good at determining what pressures are doing just by looking at satellite. So pressure down to 1,007 millibars. Okay, they think they're seeing what I'm seeing, which is that this is a small little dot in the ocean, but it is trying to get a little bit of a core of organization. What there is of it is moving west at 23. That's very fast movement to the west. It's difficult to get development when a system which is struggling to develop is moving so fast. Nonetheless, that's looking a little better than last night. If this can hold together, by the time we get into early next week, it's here, say the spaghetti plots, but that's if it can even get that far. I'm going to show you the modeling. It's not looking good for 96L. They did make this an invest so that they could start running the spaghetti plots on it yesterday. A couple of things. This is struggling to develop not only in the dust, which we'll look at, but also that's some easterly shear that it's stuck in. So this is where it would be by Friday. The green is an area where we have increased wind shear, winds blowing in opposite direction with height. That tends to disrupt a burgeoning circulation. So it's not developing in a healthy, conducive environment. Come on now. We continue on. It's possible if it stays together. It's here Saturday. Maybe if it can stay further south, it's in a little better spot. But then the dust is the real story. And you can see right here, look at how this dust curly cues around. Let me redo that. That is the little low pressure area down there. It's trying to get going, but it's sucking in dust. That is the Saharan arid layer, dry sinking air. You suck in that dust, suck in that dry air to a system that is a moisture system, runs on humidity, runs on liquid, and you insert the dry air, it can stop development, and that I think is what's most likely to happen. And you can see it continues to pull in. It's a circulation this evening, Thursday evening. I keep thinking today's Thursday. Thursday evening, it's still circulating, but by the time we get into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you notice how we no longer see a curlicue of circulation here. That means the modeling is thinking there's nothing now to pull in the dust because the low is gone. So let's do what we do here with this. We go into Friday. Both models, the Euro and the American, have one 10-10 isobar, and that's it. That would not make it a tropical depression based on what we're seeing on the modeling here. Again, this is the Central American gyre. Nothing to see here. That's just normal stuff. That's not tropical. That's Friday. We'll take it into Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Anybody see anything? No. If it was going to still be alive, it'd be here, and there's nothing here. There's the gyre. Again, not tropical. So modeling loses it as we head into and through the coming weekend. Let's just keep going. We're going to Tuesday, Wednesday, so a week out, nothing. And this is where we've been watching for anything to develop that could impact Texas and Houston. There's nothing there. I'm going to put this into the way, way long range. We're going to go into La La Land. It's just interesting. What you'll see is watch the low pressure develop coming off the East Coast, and then it really cranks up when it gets into the North Atlantic. But this is not tropical. This is going to be a mid-latitude low. These will be cold core. Look at these cold core lows racing off here. So there's low pressure forming over the Atlantic, but that's not tropical. Those are North Atlantic lows that are heading for Europe. Otherwise, nothing. No, that's not anything. No, this is not something forming. We see a clean slate going all the way out to September the 5th. I looked at some longer range modeling that takes it out to the 11th. Nothing. So that's way out there. Take that with a grain of salt. But it may be that we are in the middle of what's going to end up being a very quiet season. At least the first half will end up being quiet if all of this verifies and we don't see Dolly develop and we don't see anything more going all the way into September the 5th. And before you know it, we're going to start getting cold fronts. I wish. None of that's on the horizon, but we do expect a chance for rain, maybe a thunderstorm in the morning tomorrow, Thursday. We think we're going to break this heat wave tomorrow with rain and a change in the pattern. I'll be talking about that in great deal on our next broadcast. That's when we're live on KHOU 11 News at 10 tonight. We'll see you then.